And we began today with a Fox News alert. Dramatic tension coming to a head in the Senate this hour as the upper chamber prepares a procedural vote on the continuing resolution that would fund the government temporarily, but also defund Obamacare. Welcome to America Live. I'm Shannon Bream in for Megyn Kelly. The Senate vote is on a motion to proceed, and if that goes as they do expect it to happen, debate then can begin on the bill itself. Today's vote follows a marathon floor speech from Texas Senator Ted Cruz, whose 21-hour-plus oratory came to an end at noon by Senate rules. During that time, Cruz railed against Obamacare, which he referred to as a liberal train wreck, took a few shots at some of his fellow Republicans, and did his best Darth Vader impression, though I got to say, to me, it sounded a little bit more like Yoda. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel has watched it all. He joins us live from Capitol Hill with the latest. Hello, Mike.
Well, hi, Shannon. Yeah, that procedural vote is underway to get the process moving forward on that bill that would fund the government for a short period of time and also defund Obamacare. Bottom line, Senate Democrats want to take out the defunding part of it, but they want to get the process moving. After more than 21 hours on the Senate floor, as you mentioned, Ted Cruz, the Texas senator, left the floor about an hour ago. He clearly tried to rally the American public and made this last appeal to his colleagues.
If we listen to our constituents, the answer is defund this bill that isn't working, that's hurting the American people, that's killing jobs, that's forcing people into part-time work, that's driving up health insurance premiums, and that's causing millions to lose or fear that they will lose their health insurance. I will close, as the time is wrapping up, by noting when at noon we will have a prayer. And I think it's fitting that this debate conclude with a prayer.
Cruz had to stop and left the floor about an hour ago for the Senate to start a new legislative session. He said he tried to get Washington to listen to the American people, and he tried to frame the debate for the American public. After the marathon session, leading Democrats suggested it was all a big waste of time.
For lack of a better way of describing this, it has been a big waste of time. The government is set to shut down in a matter of hours. Just a few days.
We need to create jobs and build a strong economy. This kind of desperation doomsday scenario from the Tea Party and Senator Cruz, sadly, is only going to hurt us.
Bottom line, all Republicans want to defund Obamacare. There was a difference of opinion over tactics. Some Republicans want to get this passed as quickly as possible to give the House, led by John Boehner, time to respond with another bill. If they don't have much time, they may be forced to swallow whatever Senate Democrats pass. Shannon?
Yeah, and Mike, as you're speaking, we see that the procedural vote is officially beginning in the Senate. Thank you very much for keeping us updated.
Thank you.
All right, with Cruz's speech now wrapped up, the pressure shifts to Democrats, especially potentially vulnerable Democrats from red states, as they're not going to have to step up and vote to reaffirm their support for this president's increasingly unpopular health care law. Chris Steyerwalt is Fox News digital politics editor and host of Power Play on FoxNews.com. All right, Chris, the next move in the chess match, where are we?
Well, you have an intermediate move where, as Mike was pointing out, House Republicans get a different kind of headache and they try to figure out how to get through this. But it looks like once they have threaded the needle on this somehow in the Senate, you're going to end up with a vote where Harry Reid, the majority leader, needs to get 51 Democrats in his conference on board to again say, yes, we want, not only do we like President Obama's health law, but now we're going to block efforts to defund it. And that is not something that gives you a very good feeling if you are a Democrat from a state like Alaska or Arkansas or Louisiana or even North Carolina, places where the law, where people have a Republican lean, and the law is more unpopular than it already is unpopular in the rest of the country.
Yeah, and Republicans have repeatedly named those specific senators from those specific states, the Democrats in those red states. But any chance that any of them actually vote with, Republicans in a way that's sort of convoluted to understand, but essentially side with the Republicans in this fight over the funding issue?
Well, Harry Reid doesn't have an unlimited number of tickets off of Skull Island here. He can let go some, but he needs 51. That means that somebody is going to draw the short straw. There will be Democrats, probably. It is not inconceivable that there would be Democrats who would vote with the Republicans on this, but Harry Reid can't have a stampede against this, but he will allow a certain number. Again, he's got the opportunity to let a few people go, but how many will he? How many will want to? If you were Senator Mark Begich from Alaska, if you were Senator Mark Pryor from Arkansas, Mary Landrieu from Louisiana, Kay Hagan in North Carolina, if you are those folks, you want to make sure you've got your ticket so that you don't have to go back and face voters who say you had the chance to stop it and you wouldn't do it.
All right, so there have been Republicans. We saw, well, first of all, we saw the Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid take to the floor as Senator Cruz was wrapping up and said, basically, you've wasted a lot of time. What we need to do is get this back to the House, because as we understand probably procedurally what's going to happen, it's going to ping pong back and forth. And some have said, hey, where it finally lands, that's going to be the body responsible for taking the heat if the government doesn't get funded. Now, there are Republicans who have suggested that what Cruz did robbed them of the time to hammer this out and get something more palatable back out of the House as it goes back and forth. What happens next in the House? What are Republican leaders there planning for as they may get another bite at this apple?
Well, it depends on how quickly it comes over. I don't think that Senator Reid is probably sincere, agonizing over the difficulties of the Republican House. The intention in the Senate probably would be to give it to them with as little time as possible so that the House couldn't monkey with it and send it back. I think probably what we're getting close to now is the moment where the Speaker of the House will bring forward a very short term, and I mean a matter of days, continuing resolution to cover the gap so that the government doesn't shut down, to buy a little more time for the House to have more negotiations about what you could put in there. But remember this, we have two shutdown clocks running at the same time. That's why you miss being in Washington, Shannon. We have double shutdown clock running right now. We're counting down till Tuesday, sure, but then on the 17th, Jack Lew, the Treasury Secretary, said, oh, by the way, the debt ceiling will breach that day, on or before that day. So if Republicans don't increase the debt limit by then you have to start shutting the government down anyway. So we've got our double shutdown clock, plenty of tension, and what you may see House Republicans do is try to kick one into the other if they don't have enough time and create like the mother of all shutdown clocks.
I'm counting on you, though, to keep things ticking while I'm not there. So I will see you as we check in on this and watch it unfold this weekend. Chris, thank you. Always good to see you.
You bet.
And remember, you can follow all the latest from Capitol Hill in this fight over Obamacare and funding and debt ceilings and possible government shutdowns. Just visit foxnews.com/Fox News First. Sign up for our daily Fox First notes. Simply enter your email into the line, click the sign up button. You're all done. Again, it's foxnews.com/Fox News First. Don't miss it.